Okay, this is one of my favorite soups. I started off making a carrot ginger soup years ago, and then, of course, the butternut squash soup is so good for you. So here it is, butternut squash soup right here. It's from my liver section, and I'm going to read a little bit of why. So the liver opens to the eyes, according to Chinese traditional medicine, and these functions in the body and how they integrate and the energies, how they work together. It's all very intricate. So they're energy connected. They're connected via this energy field. So the food that supports optimal eye health are very high in the carotenoids. Look at lutein, look at zeaxanthin. You're going to see those also very high in the skins of zucchini. That's why zucchini noodles raw are excellent for you with the dandelion green moringa pesto or other. That's the way I love them. Along with vitamin C, beta carotene, which is the precursor to vitamin A, both antioxidants, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids. So this creamy soup provides a superior dose of vitamin A. We need that now for our immune system, for our hair, our skin, our eyes. With both butternut squash and carrots in here as well. This is delicious here. I'll be showing you all the ingredients in a minute. Raw organic coconut milk, that provides caloric acid, the excellent fats to feed the body and the brain, especially when you're cutting down on glucose. The brain still needs to be fed. That's where the medium chain fatty acids come in, and coconut oil. Also, it's easier on the liver, converting it to energy. And what I love is a decorative topping for this. Pumpkin seeds, definitely some fresh chopped parsley. You can get creative, or cilantro is excellent as well. So let's just show the ingredients that we're going to be using. Of course, carrots, and let's just put this down a little bit. So carrots, of course, organic, and the reason why is you want to make sure the soil is definitely done in organic ways, because anything that grows in the soil is going to be reflective of the soil. It's going to take in the nutrients, or not the nutrients, or all of the toxins and chemicals that go in. So my favorite organic carrot are not the bags of organic carrots, are always the loose carrots. I'm a carrot connoisseur, they are the best. So those are peeled. Butternut squash, again, organic. The way you can tell if something is organic is through the PLU number. Anything that starts with 9 is fine. So remember that. I've already cut up one butternut squash. I'm going to show you how to, some of the tips around that. We've got 2 Granny Smith organic apples. We have one, I think this is a Vidalia. We need an onion in there. We're going to need some garlic cloves. I already have some peeled here because I use them a lot. I'm going to be using coconut oil to cook up the onion first. Our spices, ground organic nutmeg, some bay leaf. We've got Ceylon cinnamon, and a little bit of sea salt. So these are the only 2 I use. A Celtic gray sea salt, high in nutrients, both of these, different though. So either one of these is fine. This recipe, of course, and then we're going to need some broth. If you want this to be fully vegan, vegetarian, then you're going to need an organic vegetable broth. I like engine number 2 at Whole Foods. If you have to read the ingredient list. There cannot be any mysterious, anything added, any flavorings, any like questionable MSG. So today I'm going to be using organic bone broth. This is chicken. So I'm putting that in. We're going to be using some cracked pepper, and great, that's what we're going with there. So in the back of my outcoming book is going to be a glossary of the food. So the genesis of all this is so that people gain a higher reverence for food. And so if you look at butternut squash, just my little excerpt here on that, 450% of the daily value avoid vitamin C, and it's a massive amount, providing superior antioxidant quality and anti-inflammatory protection. Most of us are inflamed. If it's not the food that's inflaming us and the sugar that's inflaming us, it's our electromagnetic frequency. So we've got a lot of work to do to keep our cells happy and keep those antioxidants flowing to keep everything moving well in the body so we're not having oxidative stress and cellular damage. Food sources work synergistically. This is the difference besides just supplementing. I supplement, but I also get the majority of my nutrients, and these are micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals, through my food. So the body, food sources work synergistically with the body, so it effectively absorbs what it needs rather than too much. Supplements can be toxic if people are taking too much vitamin A. You get a superior dose. Butternut squash, also rich in B vitamins, which we need for energy, brain function, neurotransmitter, potassium, manganese, copper, calcium, iron, phosphorus. So you see, real food is where it's at, and that's what the body needs. It greatly enhances bone density. This is excellent. Strength as well as terrific for weight loss, partner with high dense nutrients and low glycemic, low calorie count, even though it has that nice kind of sweeter taste. And definitely when we put in the coconut oil, it gives it a little natural sweetness. So let's see what we have going on here. I'm gonna actually take my sneakers off because I'm a little high here on the video, but I want to show you what's going on. So when you cut a butternut squash, what I do is I wear a washing glove or a rubber glove, and you can put it up against you like this and just brace it. Now it's going to send out little beads of protection, and those can be very irritating to the skin. So I always wear gloves. I found out the hard way. My skin got all rashy when I was doing several of these for a big event. So, and then just get around the top here. So that's good. So let's just get rid of these. Otherwise, I peel these in the sink, clean out the stuff, and then throw them into the trash. Keep everything nice and neat. And you always want to have prep bowls. If you can get these Winco little prep bowls, they all fit together, nice and neat. They all stack, but it's so important to stay organized when you are cooking. So I always have these prep bowls on hand, which is great. So first off, we're going to be cutting up the squash. Let's just get some stuff out of the way. You're gonna want a really sharp knife. So this one happens to be my favorite for butternut squash. And just give your knife a nice little sharpening. So if you're going to be doing noodles, butternut squash noodles, the neck is perfect for that, because the neck is gonna be solid. The bulb is where the seeds are gonna be. So let's just get the tops and the bottoms off. See how nicely this knife works with this. So that's great there. So then we're just gonna cut next to the bottom. So basically we just wanna make a bunch of cubes. Let me get this off. And I'm just gonna grab another glove here. So it's nice to have a few like chef gloves when you're doing certain things like that, but I like to keep one hand free. So the easiest way to get the seeds out is use a teaspoon, a sharp, like with little kind of sharp edges, and then you're just going to basically scoop it out like this. Just scoop it in here. So you just work it around and scoop it out. Very easy. So it's all cleaned out, nice and easy. So you just have 2 small areas to do. That's why when you're buying the butternut squash, I like to get a long neck on the butternut squash. It just makes it easier to cut too. It's more uniform. We'll do these at the same time. And we're just making cubes. I love this soup. It's really filling, nourishing. Especially when you're adding in the coconut. The coconut cream provides so much energy, and once you get off of dairy, you'll just notice how much better your body feels. Even if you have a slight sensitivity to the casein protein, nearly 60% of the people do, you will feel a difference in your energy, because autoimmune diseases sneak up on you because it triggers the inflammation that's below the threshold of pain. So you can be systemically inflamed without knowing it. So this is where we get that beta carotene, that vitamin A, that bright orange color, which is great. Okay, so now we're going to cut these up. So I just like to have cubes. Now, for your cooking time, you're going to want the cubes to be smaller, as you'll be cooking them a lot longer. So, you know, now it's just all about uniformity, and you just kind of stack your pieces together and get them cut. So this is actually extremely therapeutical. If you, you know, just make sure when you're using a knife, definitely, you know, it's nice to have family in the kitchen talking, but just make sure you're watching your hands while you are cutting. And if there is a solid side, set the solid side down before you start cutting. That helps the object stay nice and still when you're cutting it. And then, you know, you'll learn just how to stack things up. 3 in a row here so you get them all cut. You make up your own little efficiencies. So we got a bunch of these to do. Let's line up all these guys. So really, this soup cooks really quickly, so it's great to get it prepped and get it cooking while you are putting something else together. So then I just cut these in slices, and I cut the slices so that they're about, I suppose it's about 1/2 of an inch. And just kind of as uniform as possible. Obviously, you're going to be using a hand blender to blend these and go from there. So then just stack them up, cut them all together, makes your life easier, and then we'll go from there. So it's all fun. So there's no grading at this point. We just want to get them cut into chunks. So as we're going, let's just put some into the bowl, get them out of the way. Almost good. So we have 2 butternut squashes here. They're like medium size. And if you have a rutabaga in your refrigerator somewhere too, I mean, technically you could put that in. They're all in the same family. So those are ready to go. This guy is going to get cut. So there's a lot of chopping, obviously, going on right now. So I am going to pause the video. We'll come back when all the butternut squash and part of the carrots are cooked up. Let's see here. Okay, so snacking on a carrot. That's a great part of cooking at home. To get to have the sensory experience. Just stack your carrots all together. Cut them all at once like this. Just be careful when you get to the end. You can just overhand it like this. So great. What I've done is I've saved some of this butternut squash. So if you're just making like a partial recipe, or you know, these stay really go well in the refrigerator for later. I'm going to mix them up with purple sweet potatoes, rutabaga, some other root vegetables, which I'm going to roast. Just toss in a little bit of oil with some fresh spices like rosemary and thyme. They are terrific. So let's get these in here. These bigger ones, I'm going to cut just a little bit more. All right, so we got all these guys. I'm going to get the onion going, and we're going to start that cooking in the pan. So what I like to use is this Dutch oven. I've been warming this. Let me just turn it up a little bit more. It cooks soups perfectly because it's like an even all around kind of heat, which is fantastic. And so let's get this onion done. And I'm going to use this knife. Fine, put lots of different onions. to get this off. I just want to take off the peel here and not lose too much of the meat. Beautiful. This one smells great. Right. The way that I just do these really slim. I don't like to make a big chopping mess of these, so I just cut them up slim like this. And the reason is because we're using a hand blender at the end, so stuff does not have to be perfect. But what we want to do with these first is we're gonna onions always go in first for soups because they have moisture. They need to get translucent. Just let you know the pan is hot. So, okay, we're at the end here. So these are all going to go in. So this is a great little gadget to always have in the kitchen. This little scooper. It saves you from getting tempted to use the edge of your knife. Okay, onions are done. So when those are sauteing, we're going to cut up the apples, and I'm going to be taking off this glove. All right, so this is starting to get warm. I'm going to be using coconut oil. You can use a little olive oil, but I'm going to use coconut oil. Coconut oil actually has a higher smoke point. It's better. We don't really heat this up too much. It's not like we're grilling it for hours. But because we have coconut oil and coconut milk in there, I'm gonna use some of the coconut oil. It's great, just a couple tablespoons. It's fine. I'm gonna get that warm. I'm gonna put in the onions. So I'm just putting those in there to get going. Otherwise, I would wait till it's warm and then add in the onions. And let that get warm while I pare these apples. This is great actually for your mind-body connection because you're having to concentrate a little bit. So it's really fun to see if you can get an entire apple peeled in one. Ta-da! But great. So a lot of cooking is using your mind, body, and cognitive skills because there's a lot of concentration that goes into all this. So there's so many more benefits of cooking in the kitchen rather than just putting your own amazing energy into your food. You're really connecting your body. All of the scents, I got cut on the tag here. All of your senses are being employed. I'm listening to great music. I'm going to be hearing the sizzling here. I'm going to be smelling the smells. That's why I prefer to cook at people's homes when I'm doing meal prep for them because they really get engaged in the process. And excellent. So now we're just going to be cutting up these apples. They're also going in. So this is a chance where you get to have a little snack while you're cooking and kind of eat around the core, which is phenomenal. A little great pick-me-up. Green apples are excellent for women, great with pectin, sugar. Whoops. And we're going to do one more. And I'll see you back here. Okay, we're about ready to put this all together. So you can see we've got the apples here, we've got celery, we've got our butternut squash and carrots. The most relaxing, time-consuming part, of course, is the chopping and the preparing of the root vegetables. We've got the Dutch oven going nice here. You can hear everything sizzling. I'm putting in slices of ginger root. That's going in there as well. Ginger root is an excellent pungent herb. So this is getting nice and translucent. Just a couple more here. And we're also going to be using some fresh, some of my fresh sage, because that's going in as a spice as well. So I'm going to be adding everything now. Here, all in there so it can start to cook. And So we're going to be adding the carrots, we're going to be adding the apples, we're going to be adding the celery, we're going to be adding the ginger, that's all going in there, and we're going to be adding the broth. So here, this is 4 cups, 32 ounces, so it's perfect for this recipe. Just 1 full broth. If you choose to make your own bone broth, you can use that, or if you choose this to be vegan, you can buy organic vegetable broth. Again, I like Engine 2 as a brand. Put our cute little prep bowls to the side, keeping everything nice and organized. So we're going to let that boil. We're going to reduce it, and we're not going to be adding, oh, did I get the spices in there? No, I did not yet. Let's do all the spices, and then we can take a break here because we're not going to add the coconut in after. So let's get in a nice bay leaf. I just bought these, so we got to open these up. Anyway, here's a quick method. Getting in. Here we go. So I'm just going to add 2. Nice. Let's just keep this off. So I just use the grinder here. Not super picky. You can always add more black pepper after. It's a half a teaspoon. I don't add much salt to any of my food. You can always salt it more later. Pour it in your pan first. That should be plenty. And really good sea salts and Himalayans are stronger anyway. So we've got that. We've got nutmeg. We're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Gives it all these really great comforting flavors. So this is the ultimate comforting recipe. 1/4 teaspoon there. Cinnamon, we're going to need at least a half a teaspoon. And you can always edit the spices a little based on your taste buds. So let's get this cover off. So I'm going to put 2 of these. All right, we're going to add a little bit of heat, a little bit of cayenne. So this is up to you how much you want to add in. And so I have a 1/4 teaspoon. You can go there or just a little bit under. I'm actually going to go a tiny bit under. It's nice to have a little heat with everything. So let's just cover that on. I'm going to show you how I'm just going to clip out. If you can get these are little herb shears, just get these. So clip off 1 and another and another. And we're going to be using the sage, so we just pull it off. It's so fresh. So again, this is where your senses really get engaged in the cooking process, get your body excited and ready to eat, and your whole house smelling amazing. I use a chef's knife when I'm cutting up herbs, for sure, or chopping onions. I'm just gonna rough chop these up a little bit here. Fabulous. I added onion a little bit more. I only needed like a teaspoon. So now let's just mix this up, and we're gonna let this cook. And we're gonna let it cook until the everything is getting nice and soft. So we want to bring this to a boil. We're gonna turn it up. And that's it for now. Okay, so this is smelling incredible. I wish you could smell it. All of these ingredients are blended together so well. This pot is terrific. It smells a little bit like fall. It's so delicious. This is going to be so rich. what we're going to be doing is I didn't make an entire recipe, otherwise we would use this full can. So I'm going to save some of it in a jar here because I use the coconut cream or coconut milk in some of my smoothies to add in really good, extra good fats for the muscle and the body. So let's just get out. Want some of this nice cream on the top. Hold on. Just gonna get this in there. This is the same cream that you would use in your chocolate avocado mousse, or you can get the heavy one too. So that's enough. I'm gonna save the rest of this. That's why these jars are so important. They really help keep things organized and safe. Get all this really great coconut cream out. Yeah, I love this coconut cream to add to either one of my my raw cacao smoothies or my papaya smoothie that has the ginger and the turmeric. It adds a lot of extra nutrients. So there we go, we've got that. Let's put this back on. It's gonna cook for another 15 minutes. We're gonna check to make sure that the squash and everything is nice and soft. And then we're gonna be using the Immersion Blender, this hand blender here, just to blend it up. And then it's ready to go. We're going to be putting on top some yummy pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin seeds. You can toast them if you want, you don't need to. And either some chopped cilantro and or parsley. They're great toppings on this soup. All right, so stay tuned while we finish this up. Okay, so this has been cooking for a while here, and the whole key is you just want everything to be soft inside. It smells absolutely incredible. That's one of the great things about making soup. And wow, and then with the spices, unbelievable. So we're gonna remove the bay leaf, if we can find them. Here's one, because we're gonna use the hand blender next. Put it in there. Okay, where are you, buddy? If you miss it, don't worry, the hand blender will blend it up. Here we go. Okay, we get another one. Okay, so these covers are very heavy. Let's get that set now. All right, so an immersion blender is something you definitely want to have. 1 second here, let's pause. Could I grab something? Okay, we want to make sure that we have the lights on here. So let me just put this up a tiny bit. I have my sneakers on now, so a little taller. This is a great immersion blender. There's lots of them. Definitely want to have them for different things. And you're basically just going to be putting it in here. Oops, gotta plug it in. So this is great. Oh yeah. This is when it starts looking So you have to be careful not to like pull it up or to angle it too much, else it will spurt a little bit there. It's looking great. So we're just gonna put this right here, nice and neat. In fact, we're gonna undo it, okay? And now we're gonna dress up the bowl. That's all part of it. I like to put this soup in these. They're super, super pretty. And we're gonna get our toppings. What I love about the toppings is they add the really fresh herbs and the fresh flavor with the warmth. I'm gonna be putting cilantro on mine. I have a little fresh cilantro left here. So that will go on top. And pumpkin seeds are perfect for this. Pumpkin seeds. So let's get this ladled out. I cannot wait to taste it. It's been smelling good for so long. And like I said, that's the genius of cooking at home. This just looks amazing. So depending on how long you whip it, just using a measuring cup to spin it out here, to be quick. And so I just want to chop up the cilantro a tiny bit. I like a lot of it though, so good for you. It helps to clear out heavy metals. It just has a great taste. Lots of nutrients and fresh herbs. And sprinkle a few seeds on. Let's give it a little shot of cracked pepper. You can drizzle a little bit of paprika on top too, which looks real pretty, so we'll do that. Paprika's right here. Adds a little bit of smoky, like nice, really light, but it also dresses it up super pretty. And there you have it. Look how simply gorgeous that looks. So we're gonna do a taste test. The KK taste test here. And oh my gosh. So this is what I love about, I love texture, I love different tastes. You're gonna have a little sweet here, a little pungent, a little bit of, Guys, you're going to love this. So enjoy. You can freeze this soup. You can keep it in the fridge. Trust me, everyone loves this. So enjoy. That is the creamy butternut squash soup, part of the liver section, loaded with vitamin A, beta carotene, excellent for your immune system, skin, eyes, everything. It is the beauty soup. Okay, thanks for tuning in. KK's Big Kitchen right here at inthekitchenwithkk.com, or find me on Instagram, of course. Don't forget to follow me there. I've got lots of great posts, and on my Facebook page. Bye, everyone.